Howdy gamers, let's talk about the runes for Ahri mid lane. Coming into Season 10, Ahri's a pretty fringe mid laner, not picked too often, kind of disappeared as other champions just generally outclass her. Champions like Syndra just deal more damage, and then other control mages like Anivia are better defensively. So Ahri's in a really weird spot where she functions as like the in-between of a mage and an assassin. So the best way to get utility out of her is through the keystone Glacial Augment. Glacial Augment makes it so that your auto attacks slow and any active item also slows. So basic attacking an enemy champion slows them for 2 seconds. The slow duration increases, or the slow increases over the duration of the 2 seconds. And this slow is less for ranged champions, but it's still fine for Ahri. Slowing a champion with an active item shoots a freeze ray through them, freezing the nearby ground for 5 seconds and slowing all enemies inside by 60%. The 60% is pretty significant as if you build GLP or Twin Shadows, then it gives you a huge amount of utility in teamfights as your first dash in. That you can dash in, use the slow, you set yourself up for your charm, obviously, but you also set up your entire team in a pretty safe way to just have a better position in the fight and punish enemies that are stepping forward. If you get an enemy's dash with the slow, like one slow from the GLP, and then they try to reapproach, and you have the Twin Shadows to also slow them again, the enemy has really bad options when trying to approach for either Baron or Dragon fights, or just generally if you're skirmishing like pretty randomly around solo lanes or just in the mid game when fights are happening. With Glacial Augment, it basically also makes Ahri's auto attack an ability, because the slow is gonna set you up for your Q, and then more importantly your E if the enemy is like really mispositioned. So it makes things very unique in the way that Ahri can use them, as her skill shot's a two-part. It goes out, deals damage, and comes back, it deals damage. Usually the enemy can dodge that second part, but if you have the slow on them, they realistically can't. So very unique rune, and it in combination with the itemization of GLP and Twin Shadows makes Ahri a huge nuisance come mid-game. The itemization is also very cheap and just so effective for Ahri for what she's trying to do. Second rune is going to be Magical Footwear. You gain boots for free at 12 minutes. The cooldown's reduced for every kill and assist you get, and then the boots give you additional movement speed. This is basically just to save gold on the boots as you're trying to get the completed active slow items as fast as possible. Not having to buy boots in the early game just feels nice, and then by the time that you would complete either Lost Chapter or GLP completely, or even the components of GLP, then you would get the free boots and then can upgrade those into sword pin boots if you want to, depending on the itemization timings. So it's nice to have that to play around with. The third rune is going to be Minion Dematerializer. You start the game with 3 Minion Dematerializers, and then basically you use them on a minion, and then whenever you use it on a minion, you deal more damage to that same minion type. So you use it on a melee minion, you're going to be dealing more damage to melee minions for the rest of the game. You use it on a cannon minion, same thing. You use it on caster minion, it's going to be the same thing. The basic way to use this is to use it twice on the melee minions and then once on the caster minions. But if you need to, you can also use it once on a cannon minion to shove out a wave, like depending on the lane state. So it can be a luxury thing, but defaultly you're just going to be using it twice on melee minions and then once on caster minions to be able to push out a wave without having to spend as many abilities. But that also changes depending on the amount of AP you have from your itemization at different timings. So again, Ahri's a really unique champion, really weird to play with. Fourth rune is going to be Cosmic Insight. You gain 5% CDR for your abilities, summoner spells, and items. So this helps you in every single way. Having your flash and ignite up more often helps you have more picks more often because you just have those up more often. The CDR on Ahri's abilities are pretty nice, as her E and Q are basically all of her abilities are pretty long cooldowns. And then the 5% item CDR is also pretty nice, as you're going to be running 2 active items like minimum on Ahri. So that's that. Primary runes for Ahri. The secondary runes is always going to be Domination for your second tree. The only variance being the second Bounty Hunter rune that you'd be running. The 2 options that you have is Ingenious Hunter and Ultimate Hunter. Ultimate Hunter basically just giving you the ultimate CDR, obviously, and then Ingenious Hunter giving you the active item CDR. With the active item CDR, it's just so powerful with the slow items, GLP and Twin Shadows, because they're basically always up. It makes it so that you can use them just as your if you're in a lane solo, or if you're just fighting the lane in general. Whenever team fights happens, whenever skirmishes happens, just having them up more often, especially in solo queue, it's like a luxury, and it's just defaultly beneficial, as they deal so much damage with the GLP, and the slow raise set up for so many plays that just otherwise like wouldn't happen. They like can create something out of nothing, which is really unique in League of Legends. So pretty interesting option. And then the first rune, Cheap Shot, damaging enemies with impaired movement deals bonus true damage, and this is only on a 4-second cooldown, so you can auto attack Q, auto attack W, auto attack E. You can deal any form of damage, and it's gonna be dealing more damage to the enemy so long that you auto attack first with Glacial Augment, and this will also proc with your E as well, or with the active items from Twin Shadows and GLP. So you have tons of ways to proc this, and it's only on a 4-second cooldown. So it's just basically more damage for free. And then the other option in Ultimate Hunter, the only thing you need to consider of choosing between Ingenious Hunter and Ultimate Hunter, with Ultimate Hunter, it means that you're going to be able to kill your own lane with your ult, and then have your ult up for the next objective fight. So if you have a lane in which you can solo kill them with your ult, and then do that at a timing 2 minutes before the dragon, or even less before the dragon or Rift Herald, then that would be what you would run Ultimate Hunter for. But the default I would run would be Ingenious Hunter, as the 15% active item CDR is just really, really strong with the obvious build that you're going to be going with Ahri with this rune setup. And then for adaptive runes, it's going to be AP, and then depending on your matchup, you would run armor or magic resist. So if you're playing into Zoe, Syndra, Syndra, you'd run magic resist. If you're playing into Zed, Talon, Lucian, you would run armor. And that's that. It's really the only variance that would be. So these are the default runes I'd recommend for Ahri. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I answer literally all of them. And if this video helped you, leaving a like on the video helps me. And if you're interested in some support gameplay, you can check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/Sawyer Nelson. I'll be streaming whenever Season 10 starts. I won't be playing Ahri, though. Not even support. Don't ask me, okay? Thanks. She's cute, though, you know.